Hey, sis, how are you? I am so glad you're here for this podcast on your authentic intelligence. We like to say that the most important thing is for you to focus on is your AI. I know it sounds like I'm thinking of artificial intelligence, but honey, I am telling you that you have an authentic intelligence
Sorry,
about you.
Diana.
Yeah,
Can you start over
yeah,
one more time,
yeah.
please? I had a little technical thing.
Yes.
That sounded weird. So if you're not
No.
too far into it,
Yeah, we can start all over and I'll cut this out of the video.
all right, sorry.
Okay. Hey, sis, I'm so glad that you are with us today to talk about your AI. No, I'm not specifically, well, sort of, talking about artificial intelligence. I am talking about your authentic intelligence. Oh, that AI. Yes, it's because you have authentic intelligence, and there is an authenticity that I want you to realize within you. I need to share this extremely important message with you that you have an authentic intelligence inside of you. And we are going to spend time during this podcast respecting the humans who've created artificial intelligence. But we need to get to respecting, honoring, and really understanding the authentic intelligence that you were created with. A lot of us have not really tapped into this sort of AI, this authentic intelligence. And I want to let you know that we are at a critical stage in our lives where people like myself and other thought leaders and experts in the area of human contact, human abilities, human knowledge, understanding that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And I've come to recognize that this is my expertise. This is why I have been put on this earth, is to make certain that you recognize that there is a God that is within you, that you have been created for a specific purpose, for a specific mission. And you are on assignment within your human body to come to earth to actually heal and to bring life to whatever it is that you are supposed to bring life to, that you're supposed to solve. There is a reason for your human existence, and it lies within your authentic intelligence. So, what we're going to spend time doing, first of all, is defining, well, what does authentic intelligence mean? So, authentic intelligence means that, as again, and I'm going to read it to you from my notes, you are a spiritual being having a human experience that has the capacity to create. Within your being, you have the capacity to create, that you are capable of thinking critically. You are adaptable, right? You can adapt. Your body can adapt. It can heal itself, right? You have emotions, which are beautiful. Some of us have been shamed because we do have emotions, but you do have emotions. You actually have what's called spiritual intuition. Again, this is your authentic intelligence. You have the ability to connect with this spiritual intelligence because it's embedded in your DNA. It is inside of your DNA. You have moral and ethical reasoning, which gets you into understanding intuitively what seems or is right or what is not right. You have lived experiences and you have a story that no one else has. This is your authentic intelligence. And we have been taught through practice, through conditioning, through programming to turn off this authentic intelligence. Now, why have we've done that? Part of it is fear. Part of it is we don't want other people to have this type of way of living. And so to keep things simple, let's just keep everyone oh, unaware of this authentic intelligence and do it this way. And you've been programmed to be a certain way. You've been programmed to be a certain way through your human experiences, right? You have a certain system that you were raised in called your home, right? This system is this human experience that you are in the environment that you were raised in, right? Within each system, this human experience is an actual system. This human experience has system and has unwritten rules that you had to abide by, right? So all of us can talk about our childhood. We can talk about what we went through and we can say, oh, yeah, in my home, this is what we had to do and this is what we had to do. This is how my parents raised me. This is what it was. This is how my school was. This is what my zip code was. This is what my college experience was. This is what my ancestors did, right? All of that is your human experience. And often, a lot of that doesn't have a lot to do with this artificial intelligence, with the exception of your lived experiences and your story. You see, what I'm sharing with you is we have two different things. You have a spiritual being and you're having this human experience. And what happens often is we void out this spiritual intelligence for really putting more emphasis on our human experiences. And often these human experiences don't allow us to tap into our spiritual, our spiritual artificial, I'm getting it right. Your authentic intelligence. And we get it together. I'm gonna get it together. Are you picking up what I'm laying down? Let me give you some examples. This is just not theory. This is actual experience. Let me give you some experiences. So I was raised in the church. I was taught a lot about religion. I really wasn't given this idea that, and a lot of religion has its place, but it doesn't really teach you about the spiritual practices of Christ. It doesn't really help you understand about the patterns of our earth and how it moves and the moon and the experiences of the way in which the earth operates. And because of that, I never really understood. The church never ever taught me this, and I was always in the church. And because I felt like they were saying, don't pay attention to these kinds of things, they're not of God. They don't allow you to be able to seek God. And so I had this like dissonance between, well, what does the moon do? What does space mean? What does any of that mean? And because of my culture and because of my upbringing, I never paid attention to that. And until I started to remove some of these human type of human ways and start to really tap into this spiritual experience of tapping into nature, tapping into, oh my gosh, there is an impact that the moon has upon a woman's body. Oh wow, I never knew that. I didn't start tapping into meditation as an example, for example. In the church, people poo-pooed meditation. No one ever said, oh, you should meditate. It was more like prayer is prayer, but there's meditation. No, even though it referenced it in the Bible, you they never said that you should ever meditate. And so I never did. And then even when I even started meditating, I was thinking I was committing some crime or sin, you see? And I never really was taught about this spiritual intelligence that lives within me, that I actually have God that is inside of me, that I can meditate and I can take scripture and I can put it inside of my mind, inside of my heart, and I can move things and change things and do things. And I can rely upon that as my form of getting what I need, getting what I want, as opposed to trying to utilize these outside factors. Now, let me talk about artificial intelligence for a moment. Artificial intelligence really is just humans picking up on the patterns that we as humans do and creating efficient tools and practices that allow us to not have to do, right? And it's very practical. Artificial intelligence is very practical and it allows you to be more efficient. It allows you to take your thoughts and say, let me ask what ChatGPT says, right? And that's a form of artificial intelligence. Let me and I'm going to say by the sound of this, okay, this is January 2025. ChatGPT may not be in existence by the time you listen to this. There could be another form of artificial intelligence, and there are several forms of artificial intelligence that basically take the patterns of human behavior and utilize them to come up with a result. Now, what artificial intelligence does not have is what I was calling your our authentic intelligence. Within that authentic intelligence, I didn't reference was your divinity, meaning God, right? Artificial intelligence does not have the ability to connect like that. That is within our human code. And that is the difference. And I just want to share this with you, and I want to go on record saying this that in time, what will happen, we as humans, because we don't tap in to our authentic intelligence, we are going to be utilizing artificial intelligence so much that we are not understanding the power that we have within our authentic intelligence and think that this artificial intelligence is so much better. Let me give you examples of this. If you're a 10-year-old and you use artificial intelligence all the time, right? Because you want to get an answer, right? You're going to go to artificial intelligence and get the answer. Yes, it's efficient. It's going to get you what you need, right? But what we're not teaching our youth is the power to utilize this spiritual intelligence to allow you to think differently, to create. So you see the difference between the two. If you are not convinced that your authentic intelligence is superior to any artificial intelligence, is because you don't practice. Mm. You do not practice being who you are created to be. You have not been betting on yourself. You have not sworn into the amazing, authentic self that you have. This, my friends, is the reason why a lot of us walk around with imposter syndrome. We don't trust ourselves. We look at outside things as validation of who we are. We don't look within as validation of who we are. We value our worth based on other outside circumstances. We don't look within to value our worth. We aren't looking to God to allow us to bring everything that we need. We aren't looking to, if you don't want to say God, looking at this ultimate source of intelligence. Let me prove you why this authentic intelligence is so powerful. Have you ever had a cut on your finger? And this cut just, had to bleed, right? And it bled. Did you have to tell the cut every single day to heal? Right? No. All you had to do was put a band-aid on it. And that cut, as long as you kept it clean and as long as you made certain that, it wasn't getting dirty. Yes, clean, not dirty, is going to heal. That is a form of authentic intelligence that no human being ever gave to you, right? You also have to understand the power of your thoughts and the power of your belief system and the power that you have within your central intelligence. Do you know that science has begun to prove that there is actually an antenna that's within our DNA that can actually magnetize what it is that we need? And you don't probably aren't picking up what I'm laying down here in this short podcast is because you haven't even studied and learned a lot of the research that the scientists have begun to realize that indigenous people and spiritual people have known throughout the ages, right? And the thing is I want to share this with you, and I know I'm getting pretty deep on this podcast, but it's because your authentic intelligence is at stake. Because in due time, that 10-year-old child might be asked, do you want a chip placed inside of you for you to be able to think like ChatGPT, for you to be able to assess information just like that, for you to be able to do things and test yourself and to allow certain chips and computer devices to be put inside of your human body? This is happening. And I want you to know it's going to happen sooner than what you perceive it to be. Now, I'm not saying any of this to scare you. I'm saying this to make you aware of what is going on and why you need to practice getting in tune with your authenticity, getting in tune with why you are here, getting in tune with the purpose, getting in tune with the creator of this universe. No man created this universe. No human created any of this that you have inside of your perfect, authentic intelligence. You have perfection inside of you. Your body really is designed to heal, right? Your brain is designed to keep you safe. However, your brain can actually, and the cells within it can grow based upon how you feed it. Your heart has a soul within it, and there is a central intelligence of vibration that is beating within inside of you that is connected to the universal power that it is that we can tap into, right? The scientists have proven this. The Bible that I read has said it for centuries. The problem is that religion and mainstream religion has distorted the ultimate truth, what Jesus came here to tell us. That is also the reason why the rulers of the church didn't like Jesus and killed Jesus, right? Because Jesus had this authentic intelligence and told us that we have this authentic intelligence inside of us. The problem is that when you start to tamper and you start to use this artificial intelligence that's beautiful right now, right? Because it's tools that we can use. But once you start distorting the human experience, this spiritual, authentic intelligence, and you start inserting these things into your body is great because it will adapt to that artificial intelligence inside your body. The problem is it will start to adapt. And we will begin to lose out on the divinity that's within you. I know this has turned into a deep podcast, but this is the message that I need you to understand. These are the critical tools and tips that you need. These are the important information that you need to know in 2025. And we women, when we begin to, and another thing I want to share is that you have begun to tap into your authentic intelligence through this podcast, because our job is to have you speak up and advocate for yourself, utilizing your authentic voice. So we have to have you understand that you have a power that's deep within you. You don't have to go anywhere to buy it. It's already in you. It's your authentic intelligence. And the more you tap into it, the more you will see things clearly. The more that life will begin more easy to you, you will begin to attract what it is you need in your life. It is called the law of attraction. Something I was told in the church was of not of God, when it is. Ask and you will receive. It is written in the biblical text. It is not just written in the biblical text. It's written a lot of text from spiritual people, indigenous people in this world. But here's the thing. I want you to know is that when you don't practice it, when you allow artificial things to distort it, we will lose it. We will lose it. And whatever you don't use, whatever you don't practice, whatever you bury goes away. And you will not be able to use it. But if you practice this stuff, you start to tune in, like the antenna that's inside of you, you start to tune in and start to really tune into this beautiful, perfectly designed universe that's based on a code. It's based on a system that you can tap into. Your life will change. My question to you is, do you want that? Do you want that? And no, this is not to bash artificial intelligence. It certainly is beautiful and has a place. But don't ever, ever allow it to take away from your authentic intelligence. You can use the robot. Don't let the robot use you. And on that note, I want you to raise your right hand. And I want you to say affirmatively, I am not a robot. Let me hear it. Yes, I am not a robot because you are not a robot. You are perfectly and wonderfully made. God made you into a perfect form. Everything about you has a system and a code that is designed to keep you healthy, to keep you well. You don't have to be anything, do anything. All you have to do is be who God created to be. When you know that you are sick, what's the best thing you can do? Rest, and you will get well, right? Rest. The body is designed. Now, we do need doctors to help us. Like if we get in an accident and our arm is cut open and our leg is broke, we do need doctors to stitch us back together. But I am of the mind that your body is so understands how to code itself back to to health that it can get back to healthy. Even if you're diagnosed with horrible diseases, your body, given the right environment, given the right tonality, given the right things to do, it can get back to health. That's just how authentically intelligent that you have been designed to be. I want you to prove me wrong. I would love for you to tell me your comments. I would love for you to have a conversation with me, and I want to have a conversation with you to talk more about this. And the beautiful thing is, we're going to continue to talk about it. I think this is enough for this podcast today, but I want you to tap into this authentic intelligence to help you speak up, advocate for yourself, to teach your family about this authentic intelligence. Tell your grandkids about this. Let them know that this is important. We're actually going to link in about 4 or 5 different books into this podcast and a couple of other audio YouTube people that we think are valuable that you can listen to kind of affirm what we're saying here. Oh, so good, right? Oh, I wish we were all together sitting in a coffee house or in some kind of room together talking about this, and maybe we could have a whole series on it. But we will. We're going to continue to have a series on it because when you tune in to the Rise with Diana podcast, this is the type of information that you will be getting. So like, subscribe, share this with your friends, talk about this information. send us a message and let us know what else you would like to hear about or topic that you would want us to be able to expand upon a little bit more. We're so glad that you're with us. All right. We'll see you next time on the Rise with Diana podcast.